Hey everyone, it's Catalyzed Cat here today with McBoner Prime, aka Xaku, Skeletor, the Skeleton Crewman, the see-through, or actually not so see-through dude, because now you have the option to keep his armor, his clothes on him, even when you use the Vast Untime, which I appreciate, because I didn't really feel so, like, well-nourished. Just kidding, I'm not using nourish. But yeah, I didn't feel well-nourished without any armor or any clothing. But if you want to be a skeleton, there is the option, Shiver Me Timber. Vibrating weird skeleton parts. You can walk around like this as well. And it's a vibe, but I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me, so maybe you want to go for it though. Now you know how, even if you don't have the frame yet. Let's go over what makes Xaku really exceptional though. Not just his looks, not just his they-them pronoun, because he's 3-in-1 apparently. Hermaphrodite, male and she-male. Yeah, I guess some people have come up with good-looking Xakus as well. No, let's see Xaku in action and the tips and tricks that I've discovered for him. So Xaku is not just nuts through, pillage immortality with Vast Untime. Like the only thing that poses a threat to you is this green beam. You pillage back to full, and then you're dodging 75% of all incoming damage. The damage that does come in, you're adapting to. You get 90% damage reduction, so really, really sick there. And then, as if that isn't enough, you're just auto-killing everything with the stolen weapons that you have. Right? Especially once they're fully pillaged, it's all dead. All deaderino. Cute. He's hiding. Even though he's an AI, he doesn't want to die. So you Vast Untime, and that maintains your 1 and 2 buff in perpetuity. Gives you this 75% dodge chance, and Zaku's Zatar's Whisper, 54% void damage, which doesn't sound like that much, but it doubles, it acts as a bullet attractor that moves with the enemy, is stuck on the enemy, and these guns that we've stolen stay in place for as long as this lasts, which is refreshable, so it lasts forever. Yeah, that's Xaku's basic abilities. His third ability I don't find worth mentioning. It's overcomplicated and underpowered. Needs a bit of a retune, but if you put on Pillage, he is absolutely a very endgame competitive frame. You can take him to level cap, even if you're just using the stolen guns and shield gating, it works. Yeah, so that's the Trumna. Let's really, really display the Trumna and how good it is. With Aerial Ace, we are just able to stay in the air, one-shot Eximus units, and just trash the entire map. Not only that, but a single synth deconstruct mod, right? One of these, 5% magazine per second, recharges our Trumna very quickly, which is one of the main complaints I think players have. 4-second reload is quite long. Like, look at this. Doop de doop de doop de doo. Yep, that is a bit too long, but we can empty the entire clip, and it just recharges in no time. Without Arcane Acceleration, doubling our fire rate, this clip should last for ages. But once you have a Wisp in your squad and you're using Arcane Acceleration, it lasts an entirety of 2 seconds. So you're emptying the clip faster than you're reloading. Yeah, that's enough of the Trumnatizer, really. Let's move on to Xaku's second signature weapon, the Quassus. Now it throws out 12 daggers. It's a war fan, but the special feature is precisely that dagger throw. It's really sick, it's really insane. If they all land, which they will, once you have Zatar's Whisper active with the bullet attractor, if they all land, the enemy is just instantly dead. They just absolutely melt. For some reason in melee mode, it doesn't always proc, but there you see. Deleted an Eximus with 1 heavy attack, without even having a max 12 times combo. Very satisfying Warfans. Not a fan of Warfans myself, but these are quite exceptional. They're very viable. Still wouldn't use them because of style and so on, They're not bad. Like, look at that, kind of cool. Definitely, that's stance number 1. I'll show you stance number 2. They're really not bad, but they're just not my thing. Probably a hit with the girls. The other half of target audience for Xaku, I guess. Yeah, the stance really is pretty cool, but I don't know. They just don't do it for me. Yeah. Now, what makes Xaku extra spicy is, of course, not just pillage and so on, but what makes him one of my new favorite frames. You steal all this overguard. You have adaptation, armor stripping. Nothing is hitting you because you're dodging 75% of it. Like, look at that. It's not even shredding our overguard, right? Which we regenerate faster than enemies can take it out. We're firing our Trumna at an insane speed. We swap to our Prisma Angstrum, and it's reloaded our primary. When the mini bosses come around, like Violence, the Acolytes, the Necromax, they get one shot by the Trumna. Instead of reloading for 4 seconds or half a millennium, we swap to our secondary to take out those units on their own. Just a blast. Let's have a brief overview of the mods. Archon Shards are cast speed, ability strength, bit of health regen, bit more health and energy regen, and here you go. This is the build, combat discipline aura. I did stick an aura forma on because I like this frame. Standard is like the dash polarity, so you could put, I don't know, instead of corrosive projection, you could use this and troll your squad. I would overwrite it with combat discipline and get Avenger as soon as possible if you don't already have it. And then Arcane Acceleration to make Trumna feel really good. Yeah. Primed Sure-Footed you need so that Trumna doesn't knock you over or knock you back, as in stagger you. If you don't have that, you can get Cautious Shot, it's called. It goes in the Exilis. It's from Arbitrations. It's also tradable. No stagger or knockback, knockdown from AoE effect. And yeah, everything here is pretty uncomplicated. Just slap on adaptation to make your shield really shield you from damage. Yeah, the dodge, the combination of dodge, shield, gating, and overguard is just overkill. You just, yeah, it's just very, very nice. Instead of primed vigor, I would actually take primed redirection. But guess what? I never play with primed redirection, so I'm not like gonna max it just for this one video, or am I? Oh, we have a legendary core. Okay, why not? May as well. Yeah, how much shield would that then give us? We would then have 1k shield, which would give us even more insane shield gating, but I don't know, don't need it. Primed Vigor, also good, it's a login reward. Failing that, just slap on like normal redirection. It's here somewhere, yeah. Blah de blah de blah. You want a bit of duration, you don't want to go into negative duration, but you can take some of it for extra strength to make sure that you steal all of that armor and shield in 2 uses of pillage instead of 3. And the Taz Whisper is decently strong, the guns are decently strong, you get 7 of them. You also want a bit of range, because otherwise the range on the guns is a bit pathetic, like it's only 10 meters even with 130% range. And yeah, Vast Untime gives you 52% slow with that amount of strength, which is pretty nice, you know? On top of cold, like they're essentially not moving, because our Trumna is doing cold damage. So yeah, let's move on to the Trumna. Primary Frostbite giving us 100% crit damage and multi-shot-ish. Prime Cryo rounds if you have them. If you don't, they're not actually that big a deal. They don't reduce your damage or increase your damage that much. We do have 8 times crit damage multi, which is insane because we're also getting orange and red crits. Just says 6.7 here because that's all these 2 mods are giving us. The hardest mods to get here are Prime Cryo and Hammer Shot. Everything else is pretty cheap and easily accessible. Just slap on normal Serration. And if you don't have Primary Frostbite, get it. It's cheap and it's from the Lua missions, but if you really don't have it, then either get Merciless, slap it on, or Dexterity, and you're good to go. This is just the best in slot Arcane. And yeah, that summarizes the Trumna Prime. landing some kills gets you another 150% multi-shot, which is insane. So, yep. Good. Get that aerial ace for the 6x double jump as well. Secondary Fortifier, really crazy to get you all of that overguard, like instant 15k overguard. Let's just see it in action one more time. Don't know if I've shown it. Tried recording this a few times and had various issues. Come here, little Eximus. There you are. Okay, they don't have enough overguard to steal at this level. So make of that what you will. You have to, if you want the 15k, you have to go to level cap-ish sort of territory. Otherwise, you can only steal at 3.7k, it seems, but that's fine. Yeah, so if you're facing a lot of Eximus units, you'll be stealing tons of overguard, and I didn't even have this ability active, Vast Untime, making us dodge 75%, so that's why it faded almost instantly. But yeah, Prisma Angstrum, I'd say you're using this gun 50% of the time, or like 40% of the time, just because there are so many Eximus units, and you're going to want to let Trumna reload a lot. I found like viral heat, very good. Radiation is just there to speed up the fire rate and confuse enemies a bit. And yeah, also a sick amount of crit damage multi on that. Lethal momentum. You might think you can skip over the XLS mod, but I found this massive quality of life change. They used to display like the range. I can't see the range here anymore. A fall off 40%, right? It doesn't show you the exact like range of that the bullets can travel without losing any damage, but it also increases that. So that's another nice thing. It doesn't just speed them up. It also increases the amount they can travel and still do full damage. And yeah, little evolutions. So Quassus, I've modded like this. You want to replace True Steel with Galvanized Steel, but I stopped modding it here because it's already one-shotting most stuff that I fight. Huge heavy attack damage. It's actually sending this out like either 6 times or 12 times. This is doing 12 daggers. Yep, and all of them hit with Xaku's first ability. So that's pretty much it. The focus is quite interchangeable. I've run like mainly Naramon and Zenurik. If you're in a longer mission, run Naramon for the increased damage, for the 200% damage on ranged weapons, on Warframe weapons. Doesn't affect melee, but it affects ranged weapons. If you're running a short mission, I would advise Zenurik for the 1 free cast every minute. So you immediately get to activate Xaku's 4th ability for that great survivability. And you can also then throw out a free pillage or, Satar's Whisper just immediately at the start of the mission. And then you don't have to worry about that. Other ones that are viable, Vazarin's very overkill with like Protective Sling, making you completely immune to damage. Then you would want to put Cloud, I think it's called Mage's Cloud or something, on your operator. It increases the AoE range of this Protective Sling, so it's very easy to hit your entire squad with complete immunity. But like I said, very overkill, you don't need it. Unairu, we're already shield stripping, armor stripping, not needed. We're already knockdown immune, but if you don't have those things, like if you don't have pillage, then this is good because it disables shields in an area. It's massive. And this is duration and radius increased. And it can armor detonate, armor nullify, but overall not that great. Madurai also not that great for this setup. You don't need the additional burst really from like Void Strike. It's okay though. And yeah, Madurai people really just take for when there's operator exclusive enemies like ghosts that you have to kill. So like I said, recommend Naramon for longer missions and Zenurik for shorter ones. Let's move on to the pet. Pet is actually quite important. Not only is it healing you to full, quite often it has to really hit the enemy with a physical ability, it seems. The quills aren't like permanently keeping you full. That's why I found the Archon Shard healing important. But this does heal you to full quite often, like once every 5 to 10 seconds at the latest. Because it's not always, your pet is not always in melee. When you are meleeing, you give your pet overguard, really, really nice. Your pet's kind of immortal if you remember to melee once every, half a minute, something like that. This is what's giving us the extra crit damage multi. They've now buffed all pet weapons, so especially our furry friends, they got their own claws. Very, very easy to hit over 100% crit chance. We only need 50% crit chance to activate Tenacious Bond, but with Bite and Hunter Synergy, we have over 100%, as you saw. Final stats. Right here, we're doing 6k damage. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, the rest of the stuff, this just slows enemies. It's pretty nice. It helps res our pet. This helps res our pet. This is what is This is what is reloading our weapon passively while we're using our secondary. And yeah, loot radar, enemy radar, very nice. Wouldn't really skip that. In fact, use the primed one if you have it. Fetch, definitely don't skip that. And yeah, viral quill is kind of the whole reason for taking Panzerwelpenpfeiler. I found that these two are enough. There's also another Panzerwelpenpfeiler exclusive one, this one, that shortens respawn time to 30 seconds, but you don't really need it because this already lets you res your pet passively through killing Eximus, and this through headshot kills, and it's up 90% of the time. So yeah, those pet mods are important, and claws kind of mod however you want, except for getting the crit chance. That's quite necessary to then activate the Tenacious Bond, as mentioned. This is just what I've done. Viral heat, bit of AoE range, staggering enemies, this, and sort of pet condition overload. Pretty crazy. Used to just be for melee, and now it's for everything, including pets. So yeah, that is my little Xaku build summary. I'm gonna just leave a mission running and not comment on it for you to see Xaku in actual gameplay, and hope you enjoy it. Peace out, and thanks for watching. Yours truly, as always, Catalyzed Cat.